All right. So we're going to be doing a review of Superman, the brand new James Gunn, previously exiled from the Marvel Cinematic Universe man for certain very horrific tweets that came out regarding Little Folk, who is now in charge and spearheading the brand new DCU universe after Zack Snyder's, I consider, valiant attempt in the previous iteration of this Wonder Being. I actually did this review previously. I had the trailer playing here, but it got copyright struck. So you're just going to get a little picture of Superman, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see any more of this slop. This movie is a disgrace. In fact, I want reparations. I want financial reparations from James Gunn and everyone that was involved in the creation of this hideously just you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of people that cosplay that got a bit of a budget and they went out of their way to create this. The glazing for this film is psychotic levels. We're talking Last Jedi, and this is something I saw over on Clownfish. This is Last Jedi levels of glazing, right? They need this movie. And if you start to look at the relevant Twitter accounts that start to be glazing this thing, it's pretty obvious that these people have also shared very similar views over the last few years, which are horrific. Like, really, really bad people, right? And they were so desperate to get rid of the Snyderverse in any capacity that they are literally sitting there every day refreshing the box office estimates chart or Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. F5 every couple of seconds, so that way they can get online, just like the brain dead monkeys that they... Yeah, there's going to be spoilers in this. I don't give a shit. Like the brain dead monkeys that they had in there as a joke at all of us, that if we say something negative about their stuff, oh, we're just brainless monkeys. Imagine putting down monkeys. In fact, I would prefer that the monkeys were in charge, to be perfectly honest. Can we get the monkeys in charge of this, please? Because they'll do a far better job. Now, I love what Zack Snyder did with the Superman universe. I also love what Brandon Routh did with Superman. I also love Christopher Reeve, right? Now, I never read the comics. I've never been a big comic book guy. No disrespect to them or the people that do. But I am a moviegoer. I love film. I have loved film ever since I could probably walk, even before that. I've always loved it. And when I see people out there going, well, it's in the comics. Listen, when you go to the movies and sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, the movie is supposed to help you understand what's going on and explain things. Oh, Lexus just got a pocket universe. Look, we just got a little kaiju here. We're just going to unleash, and it grows to like 1,000 feet or whatever bullshit, in like 5 seconds, because, this shit was like watching a low budget TV show. It was embarrassing, right? If I was able to hide underneath something further than I was, I would. I was looking, my son and I watched this. We were looking at each other going, the hell's what? Like this feels cheap. I see, and going back to what I said about the glazing of this film, you call people who like the Snyder versions cultists. You might want to start checking your own behavior, right? Because this is Last Jedi levels of cultism. This is disgraceful. These are grown-ass adults sitting here looking at this filth, actually thinking that this is somehow amazing. Now, if you like this stuff, that's perfectly fine. But there are people out there who actually do have agendas. The reason why the Snyder Bros wanted the Snyderverse to finish its run is because of the fact that when Batman vs... So Man of Steel, I think, is a goated movie. It's an absolutely phenomenal movie, right? And thankfully, Jor-El and Lara in that aren't sending off their son to an alien planet to fuck every bitch out there and take over the universe, or take over the world. Imagine retconning that. And then I saw some person on Twitter go, but it's in the comics. Well, if it's in the comics, bro, how come no one else has done it? How come... And keep in mind, we're talking cinema here. I don't want to hear no shit about the animated series or any of that crap. I'm a moviegoer, right? I don't care about the animated stuff. I don't watch the animated Batman. I don't watch animated Superman. I can barely sit through the animated stuff when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I love live action stuff. I will watch anime though, but for whatever reason that gets a full pass from me. Okay, because I love anime. I always have ever since all the way back to the 80s when I was watching things like, you know, the Western version of Gatchaman, which is Battle of the Planets, and Robotech and all that sort of shit, right? But no, I don't want to have anyone come in here and say, well, it's in the comics, or you should just know about it in a third-party fashion. No. When you go to the movies, it should be explaining everything to you. This felt like we were dropped smack bang in the middle of stuff. James Gunn thought he was intelligent by going, oh, 30 years ago, this character, then 3 years ago, then 3 months ago, 3 minutes ago, 3 seconds ago, right? He scratched his nuts. I don't give a shit. This was a fucking joke. And it was pretty obvious that this movie was trying to somehow completely, you know, forget anything that Zack Snyder did. And with doing so, they turned this into the most schizophrenic bullshit I've ever seen. It is all over the place, right? Oh, he represents everything about Superman. Really? Why? Because he wears the costume? Because he saves people? Well, Henry Cavill did. Brandon Routh did. Christopher Reeve did. And the fucking, I can't remember his full name. It's Tyler, I think it is. From the TV show, Superman and Lois. You want to look at a really good post-Zack Snyder Superman? You go watch that fucking show. Me and my son are watching through that right now, and it is phenomenal. That is Superman. That is Clark Kent. Right? Not the fuck whatever this shit is. Like, it was just a joke. It was Guardians of the Superman. It was rubbish. I want a refund. I want 10 refunds. Right? And I fucking love movies, and I'm pretty tolerant with movies. I can sit through shit and whatever. It's not that great. Whatever. This was glazed up to be the next coming of Jesus Christ, and it fucking flopped. Mr. Terrific's great, is he? Oh, okay, cool. So I'm waiting for the greatness. What's the greatness about Mr. Terrific? What? Well, what? He does like special moves? Okay, that's great. And let's talk about the special moves here. We got Lex Luthor over here, right? Literally telling all his dickheads to do input commands for his Superman clone. I'm going to repeat that again. He was telling his, like, you know, operators on different monitors, because the Superman clone needs help to fight. He's like, oh, 1A, 3F, 5G, 6Z, you know, all this sort of shit. 1A, right? And you people sit there and you go, this has come straight out of the comic books. This is amazing. I don't give a fuck about the comic books. I don't give a shit, right? It looks fucking stupid. It sounds stupid, right? You guys sat there and just shat all over what Zack Snyder did with his Snyderverse, right? Man of Steel is goated. When Batman vs Superman came out, it was a flop in terms of like cohesion and whatnot in the cinema. And then we got the Ultimate Edition, and the Ultimate Edition, what should have been released in the cinema. This is what I said to someone recently about Kingdom of Heaven. And Kingdom of Heaven was released after Gladiator. It was advertised like it was going to be the next, you know, sort of epic swords and shields, you know, sandals and sand type shit, right? It failed because there was a lot of drama, but there was also a lot of stuff that was cut out. When you watch the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven, it is phenomenal. It is one of my top movies of all time because they fleshed it out. They let it breathe. And Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition is in the same boat. One of the things that Zack does very well is letting shit breathe, letting you soak in the scene, letting you soak in the audio and the visuals and everything. It's just absolutely like what he does is phenomenal, right? And it works really well in the crafting of what he did. And let's not forget, Christopher Nolan was also involved, right, in the starting creation of Man of Steel. So if you love the Dark Knight trilogy, yeah, like fucking Man of Steel, well, I got some strawberries to sell, right? So we get the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman, and then we get Justice League, because what happened was, unfortunately, tragic accident in the Snyder family. Stepped away, somebody came in. Joss literally MCU'd it. which is exactly what this slop is. It's MCU filth, right? And the people that sit there that love this also love Phase 4 MCU filth as well. Again, connect the dots. It is the same people. It's the same glazers. It's the same type of grifters. They're all the same, right? This is just the new thing that they can attach their wagon to because they don't have any fucking life themselves, right? They need this shit to be successful because for whatever weird reason, fictional fake characters somehow define who they are. Maybe kindness is the real punk rock. I know exactly what they're saying with that. That means that if you turn or you say anything you don't like about a certain somebody, or you say something about a certain demographic or whatever, they'll just turn around and use this as a fucking bludgeon. Smack, smack, smack over the head. Kindness is the new punk rock. You're just out of style. Like, I can see through this shit like it's fucking glass, man. It's so easy to see. It's ridiculous. Right? So, by the time we got... When we eventually got, after the People campaign for Zack Snyder's Justice League, we got to saw the real vision of what Justice League should have been. And if we had got Ultimate Edition Batman vs Superman, and then the Justice League movie Part 1, it would have been golden. And we wouldn't be having this sort of slop. But they did this because Warner Brothers are stupid. As a Mortal Kombat fan and whatnot, I see exactly how incompetent they are. And they thought that by getting a guy that has a really, really bad history, that should never be in the position that he is in, right? Given this sort of property to deal with, and then he basically turns it into a Guardians of the Galaxy and throws in characters. You got people that were railing all over Batman versus... Oh my God, you know, you threw in Wonder Woman and Batman and like nobody got established. But the funny part is though, in the Ultimate Edition, they actually, you know, not only just Wonder Woman gets her own movie, but Batman was actually pretty well established even with Batman vs Superman, right? But what they do, they hated that. They shat all over that for years. And then guess what? They do it in Superman. They throw in the Justice Gang. Oh my God. Like, I could... You know, and again, it's probably a thing in the comics, but I don't give a fuck about the comics. I'm a cinema guy. I'm a movie guy. I shouldn't have to go read a fucking comic to know whether or not this shit is legit. And even if it is legit, it's the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. You go to the Pocket Universe, and this dude's got shit. He's got people in fucking blocks in there, like see-through Minecraft, right? Oh, he's locked up his ex-girlfriend, and all this sort of... Like, imagine if Zack Snyder did that. Imagine that that Lex Luthor got the shits with one of his girlfriends and he just locked her up forever in some unknown universe. You would never heard the end of this shit, right? They can explore the research. But now, oh, it's all okay. It's all okay that, you know, that Jor-El and Lara are fucking pimps. All right, out you go, son, right? It would be really funny if we just... Right, go spread the seed at super speed, right? It is, this movie is an embarrassment. As a superhero movie and a superhero fan, this is a joke, right? And it is not tracking better than Man of Steel. Don't let them gaslight you with that bullshit either. It's not, okay? It opened to more cinemas than Man of Steel, right? And it still can't beat it in the opening weekend, okay? They are so desperate for this to be successful that they can and have and will do anything. Look at all the bots that came out. They were all saying the same thing. Jumped out of the comic book. Jumped out of the comic book. Jumped out of the comic book. It was all that shit. I saw it everywhere. It was a fucking nightmare reading through those just useless replies. Oh, the chemistry's amazing. The Clark and no, it's not. If I had a fucking girlfriend like that, I would leave her ass. What a waste. You know, what an absolute waste. Like, seriously. All the men cry. All of them, including Lex. Maybe I should have been Lex, right? And just recently, not recently, after we watched Superman in the cinema, came home, watched Brandon Routh's Superman Returns, at least part of it. Kevin Spacey is one of the best Lex Luthors out there, right? And he's got a shady past, I know, right? But this is back then, before we knew any of this bullshit, right? He's one of the best. Michael Rosenbaum is also one of the best, okay? And despite Lex's twitchy shit in Batman vs Superman, he was evil. Like, he was really, really evil, right? And that was pretty full on, especially like when you watch Ultimate Edition, it really fleshes it out. Let's talk about Crypto. The fucking dog, right, in this movie is, oh, James Gunn likes dogs, so the dog's in there. Okay, all right. Okay. Is that some sort of wonderful thing? Do we start praising James Gunn because he put a dog in there? I've been watching movies for decades. They've had all sorts of fucking animals in there, right? I don't sit there and go, oh my god, the director's so amazing because they put a dog in there or a cat in there. Like, this is the TikTok brain rot type individuals, right? That get excited about this absolute just they will see like a pixel and they will blow it up to, like, you know, 4K and be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen, right? You had Hawk Girl. Oh yeah, sorry, we'll talk a little bit more about Crypto, right? So yeah, Crypto's in there. You know, he was just, again, typical James Gunn shit, just comic relief crap, right? Everything's got to have a fucking joke, and Crypto was the joke, right? Thrown in there to add levity to an already, like, I mean, listen, if there was a Pride Parade in this thing, I wouldn't have been surprised, right? I mean, this was so weird. The costumes were shit, absolute dog shit. They look like when you go to an anime or Comic-Con, this is what you get, right? Superman's running around with underwear that looks like 80-year-old men use to fucking deal with their incontinence, okay? There is nothing masculine, manly about this character. And then, oh, but the last speech he said about, you know, I get up every... Oh, yes, and so did Henry Cavill's Superman have doubts and whatnot. So did Brandon Routh's character as well. And I'd have to go back and watch Reeves again, because it's been a few years since I watched Reeves' Superman's. But I'd have to go back and watch that, right?
I'm gonna shoot out the back.
I can't get over people that are sitting there going, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. This is like Clamfish is right. This is literally like they pressed the nuclear option for fucking gaslighting, and basically initiated Last Jedi 2.0. Hawk Girl literally drops, right? And let's be honest here. A certain Middle East conflict absolutely was put into this. Absolutely, right? 100%. Okay, let's not fucking cut the mustard here. They absolutely put that shit in there, and they literally dropped one of the people in charge of one of those countries from a great height. And you fucking people sit there and go, oh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Hawk Girl, she just dropped this dude from a great height. It's so amazing, right? Did Superman, who you guys were chastising Superman killing Zod in Man of Steel, even though a normal human being with two functioning brain cells that bump together occasionally can understand that the reason why he did that is because Zod was never going to stop. Zod was like a fucking Terminator in that movie. His goal was to try and recreate Krypton, and he was not going to stop. And Superman was literally split in two because he had to do something that went against his own nature. Did this guy have a problem killing, his clone? No. What did he throw him to? Was it a bus or something? And then into the black hole? Right? Did he talk about, Hawk Girl dropping someone from a great height? No. None of that. And you want to talk about the morals of Superman in fucking Zack Snyder's, films? Fuck off, man. Just like the lack of self-awareness is just hilarious.
No, that's not the back.
This is awful. Like this movie, right? From the start to the end, I felt like, I need some reparations. Like I need some sort of refund. I need, this is terrible. Now, if you like it, that's perfectly fine. You keep that shit. You guys act like that somehow, right, that if we don't like this, we're missing out. Right, this is a game. This is like, I know console gamers used to use this against PC gamers all the time. Like, you just wish you had all our games. We get more games released every day on PC than console games combined in a year. Right? Like, sorry, not every day, maybe every week. Right? The amount of games that get released. right, on PC alone, because I have a website that I can check, and I'm being over exaggerating here a little bit, but let's be honest here, like PC gaming is not, it's not missing out on gaming, right? So much so that every major company now that runs these consoles is putting all their fucking games on the platform, right? So when I say to people, who gives a shit if you don't like the new DCU? Just go back and watch the old stuff. Who gives a shit? To be perfectly honest, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe started out strong, and by the end of Endgame, I was kind of over it. I'm like, yep, that's it for me. I don't give a shit about the rest of it. And lo and behold, it turned out to be garbage, right? And this is exactly what you're going to end up with: big budget, right? CW shows, and this thing felt like a giant episode. That's the weird part. And everyone goes, "Oh my god, Lex is, oh my god, he's Lex Luthor." What? Because he shaved his head? Because he's mean? Like, I'm sorry, but like, there's got to be a little bit more to it than that. This is what I'm saying. People are so desperate. This honeymoon phase right now that people are in, just wait. People are not going to like this review, but just wait. Once the honeymoon phase wears off, you'll suddenly come to the realization it's a pile of dicks. And what happens is, right, with this pile of dicks, okay, is that the follow-up movies to this, apparently next year is going to be Supergirl. Oh yeah, because we're all waiting for that, right? The fucking alcoholic that has to run to other planets to drink. Gee whiz, can't wait for that, right? I mean, like, and she's probably got an OnlyFans account too, right? Super fans. Like, this is just ridiculous, right? I was getting first, second, third degree cringe. Okay? I'm pretty sure my hair started growing back. So that way I wouldn't be identified as a possible Lex Luthor while watching this film. This is awful. I cannot get over it. Like, before the MCU, right, we used to get a lot of Marvel movies and DC movies come out that weren't part of some sort of universe. We got everything from like 3 Punisher films. We got 2 Spider-Man series. We had one Hulk movie come out, and we're talking like in like 90s, 2000s, not earlier times than that, right? We had Daredevil, we had what was the name? Fucking I can't think of it. I always forget a name, right? I'm gonna think of it in a sec. Anyway, right? We got Blade, of course. That was the big one. That was a huge one, right? It's the longest running standing in terms of like character, like comic book character on screen. When he showed up in Deadpool vs. Wolverine, that was the longest time that an actor has played a character with Wesley Snipes. God bless that man, right? He still can be Blade, right? I still love that shit, right? In some ways, I sometimes like it more than the MCU, right? Because sometimes it was just nice having them separate, not having this big connected universe. Because look what happens now. You put out slop like this, super slop. Don't say it though, because this grown-ass man will fucking cry and have a meltdown in a lounge room with some broad in there as well, right? Like, this is just woeful. Woeful. Right?
That is really woeful, man.
I seriously can't get up. One of my friends, I won't name him, right? He watched it with some friends, and then he watched it again, right? Because he wanted to go watch it with his wife. He watches with his wife, and she's looking at him going, "What the fuck's wrong with you? I thought you said this thing was good." This is trash. This is trash, right? This is a trash bag. This is the trash compactor. This is the garbage truck that comes out and gets the fucking trash every week, right?
I don't want to let him in that
People like I can't think of a single thing in this film that was redeemable. It was all just shit. It looked like bad cosplayers with a budget. My God. I think I've talked about everything. The fucking Fortress of Solitude was shit. Lex Luthor just got a hair, so then he's got access. And you know what I love? This is the best part. I'm going to finalize on this. I love this part, man. I love this part. Because this is literally fatherless behavior and childless behavior. Right? People bring up the Pa Kent scene in Man of Steel. Right? When Pa Kent stopped his son, saving him from being sucked up in the tornado. And they always use that one, as well as the one where, Clark was really young, right? And he saved the people in the bus, okay?
No.
You people, some of you people aren't fathers, and it shows, right? So let's talk about the tornado scene, because it also ties in with the other one. The reason why he stopped Clark from doing it is because at that point, nobody knew, like, truly how fast he was. In Snyder's universe, right, we didn't see him fly when he was young. We didn't see him move at lightning speed. And keep in mind that even though he can move at super speed, you can still see him move. So therefore, if he moved, people would have seen it regardless, right? And this is coming from a post that I read. Shout out to the guy that read it. But this is what he said, right? That you still would have seen him. His father also didn't know whether or not he was fully indestructible or not. Yes, he couldn't be hurt by people at school, right? Or whatever. But he didn't know whether or not the army rolled up and started firing bullet shells at fucking, Ma and Pa Kent's house while Superman's there, whether or not he'd be indestructible from that. Okay? Because they didn't know. He didn't even know, right? And as a father, you will do everything that you can to protect your kid, especially in their situation. They have a kid that's an alien, right? That they want to keep safe. They want him to have a normal life. That they know one day he won't, that he'll suddenly come out as being Superman. But up until that point, they wanted to keep him safe. And that's what he did. As much, that was, as a father, I understand that. It's the same thing too. They go, oh yeah, like, Pa Kent said, oh, well, maybe you should have let him drown. Right? But they don't take anything out before or after that. They just use that one slice. The same people that are glazing this fucking movie are the same people. It's the same type of bad faith actors that you've got out there. The same type of, people that were pumping up The Last Jedi and, think that people have 57 genders and shit like that. That's those people. Those are the people that are glazing this shit. Right? Because they viewed Zack Snyder's universe as like the Chads. The right-wingers and stuff like that. That's why they fucking teared it apart for years upon years. And then suddenly the shoe's on the other foot. Now you get to find out when actually you have trash that's put out. Right? Oh, it's Superman. Of course people are going to go watch a Superman film. It's not a surprise it's making money. But it's a honeymoon phase. Right? And once that wears off, you're going to start to see some people have some real big secondhand embarrassment. Because this is just terrible. This is fucking awful. I've never been so embarrassed for watching stuff on my eyeballs in my entire fucking life. And I watched the first season of the Lord of the Rings show by Amazon. Right? And not even that was as bad as this. And we might even throw in the latest Doctor Who, or including the one before that as well. Right? There's some bad shit out there. But my God, this was just, this is just terrible. I would not be surprised in the slightest at all. Right? If James Gunn was given the reins to taking care of Batman, we'd probably end up with the fucking George Clooney era of Batman and Robin. Remember how campy and brightly colored and bullshit that was? That's what this movie reminds me of. It's just slop. It's just cinematic CGI crap. There's no stakes. There's nothing. Nothing feels like, any of it really matters. You got a guy, some bald fucking alien sitting in a box of Superman, pulling crystals out of his ass to weaken him and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I understand he's from the comics. He's, he's part of the universe and all that sort of stuff. But my God, I just, none of it. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, this is the most, wow. I'm sorry. Right? I got the Snyder universe. I can go back and watch Batman vs Superman, and I can go watch the Christopher Reeve films. I don't need this new shit. Right? You can keep your slop. And it's the same attitude I have with Marvel Phase 4 and whatever crap they keep bringing out with. Because this whole, we got to make everything have a joke in there. We got to have a laugh every time. Every time there's a serious moment, we've got to crack it with comedy. This fucking loser was sitting on a couch talking to his girlfriend while the Justice Gang was outside beating up some stupid ass looking alien. Right? At this point, and I'll be honest, I actually like the Black Adam movie. Why? Because at least it was serious. At least it felt tonally correct in terms of the rest of the universe that Zack Snyder had created. Even Wonder Woman did as well. Maybe not Wonder Woman 1984, because 1984, or sorry, Wonder Woman 84, and like, even though Shazam was like, the first one was funny, the second one I couldn't stomach. Like, I'm just like, nah, that's just because they were trying to copy MCU. They were looking at stuff and going, maybe we need to make these MCU like, make them funny and, you know, quirky and shit like that. Nah. Go back and watch the original Iron Man. Go back and watch the original Captain America. Go back and watch the Incredible Hulk. Go back and watch, you know, all of those earlier films that came out, you know, that started off the MCU, and you'll see they're quite serious. Yeah, there was like bits and pieces that were funny, just normal humor, not this stupid gun shit humor that they have in this crap now. And this is exactly what this was, right? So, you know, enjoy it, but you're not fooling everyone with this filth. Not even close. And like I said, me and my son, we load up a bit of Superman Returns with Brandon Ruth. All right, so this isn't even a Snyder Bros type thing, right? Because Bryan Singer directed Superman Returns. I liked it. I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought Brandon Ruth was fucking kick-ass Superman, great Clark Kent, right? Literally a sequel to, like, I'm assuming here, literal sequel to the original Reeve movies, right? And it was just phenomenal. Like, truly amazing. That first action sequence with the plane, that after seeing it because I haven't watched it for a few years, watching that was better than this entire film put together. Right?
I just know they're in a
it's just this is ridiculous. Like, this is a joke. Right? There's got to be a book in the shop somewhere in the comedy section, and it's got this dude on the front of it. Oh, but David's a really good choice. Really? What makes him a good choice? Because he's got the black hair with the little dangly bit in the front? Because he says shit? Well, other Superman actors have said the same stuff, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you guys are reaching so hard. You are so desperate that you're not thinking straight. And you're going to hate people like me. You're going to hate other people out there that are calling it what it is. Because we can see through the bullshit. The curtain has already been pulled back. We know exactly how it's going. We see what's happening. We see what's going to come. So next year we get looking forward to Super Alcoholic, right? And what? Peacemaker. Yeah, that was the cameo, by the way. Peacemaker. Like fucking hell, man. Like, you know, we had a little bit of swearing in this, and even my son was perturbed by it. He's only 20 years old. But he's watching it going, this feels like a kid's movie, but there's swearing in it. Right? And then we find out apparently Guy Gardner's going to have some spin-off where he's going to be dropping F-bombs left, right, and center. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, is this what it takes now? You've got to be some fucking edgelord, you know. Is that all you can do? Is to have some stupid-ass humor and swear words? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit old. Maybe I require a little more meat on the bones, you know. Oh, this movie's so hopeful. Hopeful for what? Getting gonorrhea? Getting syphilis? Well, in that case, oh yeah, fucking sign me up. I'll get every venereal disease for this bullshit. That's the only hope coming out of this. This is awful, man. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.